Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Can't wipe the smile off our faces. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. You're going to try, but it's not going to happen because we saw a really good Pistons team win last night, and it is draft day. It is draft day, one round here on this Thursday with the Lions taking 17 as of right now. We will talk about all that and more. Welcome, everybody, to the Braylon Edwards Show. He's in New York for a draft party with the Jets. Yes. But he should be back tomorrow, I believe. Right?
And he'll be calling into that draft show tonight over at the Massage Chair House in West Bloomfield. We'll be live remote there.
8 o'clock,
Sean
baby.
Baligian, Neil Rule, and of course our special annual guest, Scott Bischoff.
Yeah, so looking forward to that for sure. Get there in Bloomfield Hills, the Massage Chair House, the biggest they have, and we are excited for that for sure. I don't know if we're as excited as some people will be. The memes out there are hilarious right now. I mean, I just saw somebody, the Browns front office tonight when they draft a young guy with good analytics scores, and it's that picture of Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates dancing so awkwardly on stage. If you recall that, that's been a pretty good one for sure. You're going to see a lot of people overreact tonight. Our friend Nick Baumgartner, who writes for The Athletic, really good insider, he had a really good one. And he said, there's a couple of them. It's a beautiful day for your team to crush your hopes and dreams and sell it to you as salvation. That's one. The other one I thought was very poignant for Detroit. So the Lions have either played horrible poker or have successfully lied to insiders regarding Caden Proctor, as this would be the first time in Brad Holmes' tenure that word leaked out on who he liked and who he didn't like.
That's true.
And that is pretty true. But we'll get to all that. Yeah, we'll get to all that coming up and how people feel about it. Smash that like button. We're excited on this Thursday. Really pumped up to talk Lions and talk a little bit of Red Wings post, considering Steve Yzerman was at the podium earlier today and had some answers to some very poignant questions. So kudos to a lot of the media who were down there. But first, a really nice win for the Pistons last night. We'll talk about that. Last night, I was at the game, and I love enthusiasm. I'm all for that, right? Right behind me is a dude and I am not exaggerating, on every effing possession, telling everybody in the area what they should do. How do you not shoot that? Why are you shooting that? Grab the rebound. Box him out. Go for the steal there. Asar Thompson gets a loose ball. It's right along the baseline, and he's kind of leaning a little bit because it's a tough balance, and he ends up stepping out of bounds. How do you not know court awareness and where you are? That was the one that put me over the top, and that was early in the game, by the way. I turned around and said, you don't think he knows where he's at? You see the balance or the lack thereof as he's trying to make a play along the baseline? I said, come on, dude. I mean, give it a rest. And then, guess who I got next to me? I got the 8-year-old with the thunder sticks. Boom, 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 boom. And his dad leans over. He's like, all right, take it easy there, Tommy. Boom, boom, boom. It's like he became Tommy Lee of Motley Crue and wanted to piss his dad off even more, to hammer them even harder. I was texting Kool-Aid during the game. Dude, come rescue me. Please. Please come rescue me. I get that it's all in great fun and people love the thunder sticks because as one, it sounds pretty intimidating, right? Yes. But by itself, and he's the only one doing it, everybody else is trying to eat around and have a conversation. It was painful to listen to.
Easy cure for that.
Yeah, I know it.
Thumbtack.
Oh, my God.
And all you need to do is get one. You don't got to get them both.
That's so true.
He wave one around all game. You're good, bud. The other guy sounds like a great road trip partner.
Oh, my God.
I'm sure he has no opinion on how you should drive.
You know what's even better is when those guys get drunk, because then they stop talking. It gets worse. It is so painful. So it got me thinking a little bit. You're at a game, all right? What's the worst person in your section? What's the one that you can't stand?
The kids that kick the back of your chair. Oh, I can't.
That's like on an airplane too.
Yes, yes. That. So and then you give the look back.
That's a pretty legit gripe.
Yeah,
give the look
that's
back,
totally
and then
legit.
the parents are like, "All right, Jimmy, all right,"
Yeah.
but then it keeps going later.
Yeah, I know, because Jimmy forgets.
Yes.
Don't touch Jimmy. Yeah. Kool-Aid. Who's the?
I kind of want to know how he handled this.
Oh no, I played it cool. It's a kid.
You know what he did? He said, Jimmy, I'm going to shove this sweet potato.
Yeah.
That's about 12 inches, at least according to Anson yesterday. 18.
18.
If you don't stop kicking my chair, all right? Because I paid 200 bones for this chair.
You
Kool-Aid.
better hope it's boiled.
Yeah, right on.
Steve.
What about you, Kool-Aid? Who's the one that annoys you so much in the area?
Man, I'm sitting here. I feel like I have a Rolodex of things now. I think just unnecessary noise for no reason. Just the one that has like the metal bat and just wants to clink, clink, clink and things like that. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. When I haven't had this as an adult, but when I was younger, I had a friend that was like that. He did everything with the bat other than actually play baseball with it, and it was just like, come on, bro, you gotta have to do something else with this bat. So it might be stuff like that, something like that. Unnecessary noise for no reason.
Grandpa Joe Stinky Toes, Shep yelling at clouds. That's how I felt. That's how I felt a little bit last night. This is a good one. The stand up and clap the whole game guy. That's a pretty good one too. I got one more for you. Go ahead. What do you got, Anson? Because
from me,
this is
aside from me,
this is in your wheelhouse right here. This is in your wheelhouse.
It's funny too because my section got to know me, and they would be my old man would show up without me. They're like, "Where's your son?" They'd freak out. Then there would be the occasional time where they'd give their ticket to a friend. And it's that one time they sat down there. And that first half, man, give it a rest, kid. Second half, they were down with it,
Yeah.
Honestly, it was the cringe heckler.
Give me
the heckler that yells dumb shit.
Oh, okay.
The heckler that, I would inspire people around me to heckle. Oh, man, you just covering your face. Oh, man, that is terrible. And I mean, just the you suck. Like, come on. Is that all you got?
Yeah.
You're basic.
You're basic. What about, and people in the chat, Shep's get off my grass guy. Is that get off my grass guy? When somebody is telling you on every, don't tell me you wouldn't have a full game tolerance for somebody who's telling every player how to play and every coach how to coach on every single
Shep, I'm
possession.
going to be honest with you. In about 10 years, you will be get off my lawn guy.
Probably.
It's not yet.
But I'll admit I'm inching closer. But if you were next to me and you heard this, I think you would feel the same way.
Oh, no,
I don't think
you.
this has anything to do with age or anything like that.
Thunder sticks constant all game. It's not cool. They're loud, man. They're sonic boomers, man. It's right in your ear. It's not cool.
I would say this too. Only timing of those is fine.
Yeah. Yes.
It's I'm gonna smack these sticks together because it's pissing my father off. Number one,
and this dude next to me.
And number two, he's not even watching the game. He's eating the entire time. Something happens, great. Asar Thompson breakaway jam. Everyone's like, woo, and he's like this. There's nothing there. It's just boom, boom, boom. A lot of it's during the timeouts.
You know the worst part about that?
What?
Those thunder sticks are at home.
I know.
Bang, 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 bang,
good.
bang.
But here's the difference. Dad has a pin at home.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he did.
And you're bringing one in Game 5.
Oh, hey, listen. If I'm there, you better believe it.
And I wonder if they're going to feel I'm get off the lawn. I don't think this one is because it invades so much more. The kid that's spilling like the popcorn on you, the drink on you, and like using you as a napkin to a degree.
Right.
That has happened one time. And I was like, bro. My wife was like, just play cool.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But this is not cool.
No.
The parents
That
are like
one was
4
the
seats
worst.
over, 3 kids in between you guys
Yes.
It was
apologizing.
like a
Oh, I'm so
party of
sorry.
people, and you're just sitting there like,
I paid $60 for this shirt. Little snot-nosed brat.
You better buy me a beer at least.
That's not going to cut it,
I
man.
literally had to happen.
Beer and a dog.
So one more. This doesn't piss me off, but I chuckle to myself. So this is all in good fun. Ball don't lie guy.
Not in Detroit, man. Not in Detroit.
Only because
Rashid.
Only because when the ball goes through the hoop, like last night, very rarely, but it does for Orlando. When they do make 2 free throws, I don't hear a peep. I don't hear ball don't lie. So every once in a while, I'll be the smart ass. Ball don't lie.
AKA get off my lawn, guy.
Right. So all of a sudden you get people going around like this. Who said that? Why would they say that right now? Because I think it's pretty funny.
That's funny.
All right, so yeah, let us know what you got in the chat. That's fine. It's all good stuff. Really impressed with the way they played. I know everybody looks at the third quarter. I tweeted this out during the game. 35 points in the first quarter in game 1. They had 35 points with 4 minutes to go in the first half in game 2. We asked universally, what do you want to see from game 2? And I said, I want to see the defense. And that's what we got. We got the defense. Look at what they shot. They shot 33% from 2, did Orlando. In game 1, they shot 61%. Detroit forced 19 turnovers. They had 22 of their own. But they forced 19 turnovers, which is great. And look at the offensive rebounding. I thought overall, I don't know if it was how much it was adjustments or what. Doesn't mean that it was a perfect game, but I thought overall they were stellar. And I love the 30-3 run to start the third to tell them, you know what? We're going to go back to your place. We're going to be all tied, and don't be getting all high and muddy on our dime because we're here to play.
Their energy was stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense was stellar. Offensively, they were trash. Quite honestly, the Detroit Pistons were trash offensively last night. 23% from 3.
Yeah.
58% from the line.
Yes.
22 turnovers. Mm-hmm. Disorganized at times, but they brought
Careless at
what
times.
JB said they didn't bring in that first game. You asked me yesterday, what does this mean when JB says this wasn't Detroit basketball? This isn't who we are. What I saw from the first minute, from the tip, was high energy, serious focus, and just absolute intensity on the defensive end. And that is Detroit Pistons basketball. I wasn't sure we were the better team. Last night, I believe we are absolutely the better team. Considering the fact that we played as bad offensively as we did, and I don't want to discredit the Magic's defense. They're very good. But what I saw last night is this team is better. Absolutely.
They did shoot 55% from 2.
46%. Oh, well, 46% overall.
From 2, yeah. 40. I think 46% overall, 55% from 2,
Okay.
which might be a little bit less than you'd like them to be. You'd probably want to be closer to 60. 57%, I believe, is what their season average is. The three-point shooting, I get why it bothers you because it bothered me too. I look at the three-point shooting attempts. Are those good shots? And I thought many of them were not. I am not convinced or fooled that this team is a good three-point shooting team. If I go into a game and I think, okay, Detroit's got to shoot well from 3 to win, I am in trouble.
Yeah.
So for me,
Hand me the money. I'll take that bet for you.
Exactly. For me, a lot of it starts with expectations. My expectations last night were better defense, better decision making, which you're right, they did not have it with 22 turns, and better two-point shooting than game 1.
Yeah.
They accomplished 2 of the 3. I'm not going to get fooled into thinking Detroit's going to win this series on three-point shooting. That's not who they are. That's not who they've been all season long. They were better on the glass. They were better in the paint. Anson, they were outscored by 20 points in the paint in game 1.
Yeah.
They outscored Orlando by 20 points in the paint in game 2. That's their identity.
Dominated the paint not only offensively, but dominated rebounds both offensively and defensively.
Yep.
A whole lot of blocks as well. That was really big for me.
Shout out Javonte Green with 3.
What's that?
Yeah.
Shout out Javonte Green with 3.
And he brought that intensity very early. The thing that I love about Javonte Green and the way that he shoots his threes, this team is at its best when we create 3-point opportunities. And then there are games where we're looking to find 3-pointers. Last night, there was certain points in the game where I thought that Cade was looking for a 3-pointer, and then there was just times where it was organic.
Yeah.
He made those. I felt every time that, I'm not going to say his name yet, but he was looking for threes. I thought that Duncan at times in this game was looking for threes. Other times they just came organically.
Yeah.
We didn't see any organic 3 attempts in that first game. Everything felt forced. I think that they are finding themselves after a rusty week off, getting that recalibration of understanding how Orlando's going to defend you, seeing Franz Wagner back in that lineup. But ultimately, people want to say that maybe their starting lineup is more skilled than the Pistons. I'm not sure that that's true. The Pistons have so many different types of players on their bench, players that the Orlando Magic do not have, and a credit to Trajan Langdon. I know nobody loves Karis LeVert. I thought Karis LeVert was very veteran, very savvy last night. You look at Javonte Green, a guy that was calling.
-7.
Sure, but
He didn't do a whole lot.
I get that. He was also paired with a guy named Enes Jenkins, who did not get his D back last night. No, in fact,
Not at all.
he changed his I to either a U or an A because he was straight anus or ain ass.
You know what? You know the good thing is, though? He only played 11 minutes. So remember,
your credit.
Remember, what did we ask for after game 1? We said, Dennis Jenkins played 22 minutes. We said we would like somewhere between 12 and 15. Yeah. I think you said more than 17. I said between 12 and 15.
And I said that was 5 too many.
Agreed, yeah. But, and you know what? During our group text, I said, I've had it.
He's pissing you off.
Yeah, he's pissing me off. I've had it. The constant dribbling, like whatever. He wants to force a shot. There's a lot of guys who force shots.
2 possessions, he held 23 seconds.
But trust me, I was thinking of you the entire time. But he's dribbling. I'm going, holy mother of God, pass the basketball.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And it slows down. It comes to a stop almost with him out there at times.
And then what did you see in the second half? They rushed him, bombed him, and trapped him because he is not a playoff caliber backup point guard. His handle is not there. He's honestly more of a hybrid too. When he's hot, yes, give him some shots, give him some looks. And you can feel that when the game's going on. He was so cold and so lost last night that at halftime, the Magic said the second that guy gets the ball is bringing it up.
Yeah.
And as Neil said before the show here, when he was leaving, everything was uphill at that point because they were catching him at the half court line.
For sure.
And they were trapping him, and it absolutely destroyed what we were doing. You're up 26 points. You take Cade out for a few minutes, put in Danis, and it's down to 16, down to 13.
But credit for him for recognizing, you know what, this ain't going to work. I need more of you, Cade Cunningham. Look, this is highlighted, and this isn't really where we should have started because we should be talking about how good they played, but this has highlighted a desperate need for this team, okay? With all due respect to Chaz Lanier, that's not happening. They need a secondary and sometimes I would say a third ball handler. They don't have one. Cade Cunningham was superb last night. Now, the 7 turnovers bother me, but I thought he was superb on how he probed, how he decided there were certain times when he felt like he had to take charge. I thought early on he was doing a really good job. His line was 5, 4, and 3 at one point. I'm like, you know what, good for you. I didn't want him to go out and search for his shot. But we said a few things. We expected, you asked me, Asar Thompson, 30 minutes over or under. I said slightly under. He played 28. We said less minutes for Dennis Jenkins, less minutes for Kevin Huerter. We thought Paul Reed would get a little bit more. I'm a little surprised that Ron Hallinan doesn't play much. J.B. Bickerstaff, you can talk about how many guys they went deep. Look at the minutes from his starters.
It was an eight-man rotation, basically.
Yes, which is what it should be.
Yeah, and Enes really had an opportunity to get more minutes. He played himself out of those minutes. If he's hitting shots, he would have seen 18 minutes again. And the fact that he was visibly so out of his element, and I think anybody that watched that game last night, you might be a Danis fan. And I love his story. It's beyond cute. It's really inspiring, to be quite honest with you.
It is cool.
The fact of the matter is he was exposed on the highest stage last night. He was exposed in game 1 too. But last night he looked absolutely lost, uncomfortable, and finally the Magic adjusted to take advantage of it.
I don't disagree with you. You could make the same argument for Jalen Duren. Because Kool-Aid and I were texting back and forth during the game. He looked uncomfortable. he looked almost lost at
Young
times.
players going young players.
Listen,
sometimes.
And yeah, but I mean, what did we say yesterday? This young player played 30. You know how I feel about him. He's probably my favorite player.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's 34 minutes a game in the playoffs last year. It's not a young player anymore. I know he's 22. Forget the age. Look at the number of games and the number of minutes under your belt. That's the most important thing. And he's not young anymore. He did not look comfortable, and I don't know what it is.
I do.
I think it is a lack of playoff experience as well.
Oh no, gentlemen! I'm going to tell you what it is.
Well, we're going to get to we're going to get to that. Save that for just a moment, because that's an interesting thought on that. I want to talk more about the game itself and how they did at times a really good job, and how they. I hate the you had your will over another opponent. That's such bull crap. It's so ridiculous. They got back to being who they are.
100%.
I think that's the most important thing that we should all glean from this. It doesn't mean that Orlando's not going to win another game. Okay, there's going to be an adjustment. But the defense and what they frustrated Orlando into, poorly phrased sentence, sorry, and the spacing, Kool-Aid brought this up 2 days ago on Monday, so I paid close attention to the spacing. I thought they did, for the most part, all the things that we wanted them to do.
Yeah.
The turnovers bother me, no question. But the points in the paint, the offensive rebound, the defensive prowess.
More opportunities for Duran at the free throw and in the paint.
Absolutely. I don't know how we could be really upset with their adjustment from game 1 to game 2.
I am JB's back in the coach of the year race, in my opinion.
I thought JB Bickerstaff was
I got to be
good.
honest with you, man. Like, I wrote that down last night. He's back in the coach of the year
Either him
race.
or Mike
He was
Vrabel.
never out of it.
Jalen Duren is not an all-NBA player. I will say
Up to
that.
this point, he's not looking like it.
Well,
for sure.
Not in
but
the first 2 games, he's not been.
what I've seen out of JB is a willingness to go back on what he had formulated in his brain throughout 82 games, that this is who this team was. Last year, he came into that Peasants series, and he was just stubborn as hell. He was playing the same lineup. He had guys on his bench that he could have seen, hey, maybe Sasser can come in and hit a couple shots in 6 minutes. There was a bunch of players, and I'm not screaming Sasser's name or anything like that, but when you're struggling the way that he was, he didn't turn to anybody else. Last night, he turned to Javonte Green. Last night, he turned to
who's been pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
Javonte Green's been pretty good. Would you like to see Sasser more than a minute and take the well, I think I already know the answer to that. Kool-Aid, would you like to see Sasser instead of Dennis Jenkins? Play a little bit more?
I've wanted to see Sasser for a long time. I've been a proponent of put him in the right role and let him go.
But what's
because
the
he's a
role?
skill set.
What's the right role?
Oh, a combo guard. He is not a point guard in the way they've tried to push him. I have gotten some word from some people close to the team that they've been trying to push him as a point rather than what's more comfortable with him as a combo guard.
Okay. Well,
he
if he's a combo guard, that again screams what this team is lacking and what's they'll need to address in the offseason.
Dennis Schroeder. That's what they're
You're so right about that. Think about it for a minute, though. Last year, Cade Cunningham goes to the bench. That's who they bring in down the stretch and in the playoffs. This year, it's Dennis Jenkins. I know how you feel about him. It's completely different.
Dennis Schroeder was on the court to finish games with Cade, too.
I know.
I didn't realize he was averaging basically 29, 30 minutes in
That's
that
a big
series.
deal.
It's a major deal.
Yeah.
So
over 1 year. I would rather see him on this team. I remember when they let him go, I was more upset they let him go than Malik Beasley. And people thought I was an idiot.
Same. No, you know how I feel about bees. You know how I feel about bees.
Well, I'm talking strictly from a playing standpoint.
No,
okay? I don't.
No,
I try not
felt
to fall
that
in love
before.
with players.
I'm saying I didn't like his style. I didn't think that he flowed with our offense. I thought he was constantly looking to have the fourth most three-pointers made in a season. Yeah. That's what I felt like he was doing. To me, when I put a post out right when we signed Duncan, I told everybody this team will be better and you will be happier with Duncan Robinson as your three-point
You were right.
guy. The guy understands how to pass and facilitate. Probably the second most cerebral player on the team out there. But listen, you look at Javonte Green, you look at Karis LeVert, both of these guys can bring the ball up. I'm not talking about doing it often. Okay. But if you pair them with Sasser, between the two of them, they get the ball up. and they can set things up. You've got a shooter in Sasser that, to me, is every bit as good and sometimes, in my opinion, better than Danis. I know that Danis had some good numbers from behind the arc. He's also has games where he's just absolutely desert dry from the arc. I just don't want to see him out there again. He's the smallest guy on the court. They absolutely exposed him as a ball handler last night, and through 2 games, he's been 0 offensively for you. In fact, he's been a negative because I think that he hurts the flow of things, and he's just missing shots.
He's only an inch smaller than Jalen Suggs.
Yeah,
he's 6'4". Suggs is 6'5".
I get that, but Danis plays like he's about 6'1" out there.
Yeah. No, I think you're right about that.
Yeah,
he frustrated me because I thought he made it a point to hunt for his shot.
Yes.
And I didn't think it was necessary. Now, I'm not trying to prejudge anybody, okay? And I'm not going to try and tell you that he wasn't important for this team at times, because he was. But this is a different time. And a lot of this comes down to coaching trust, not you and I, okay? I say this to my kids all the time. Trust is an easy thing to lose. It's a really hard thing to gain.
Yeah.
I think if he's not losing the trust of some of his coaches, I'll guarantee you he's got to be losing some of the trust of his players.
Absolutely.
Because of the way he's playing right now. He is playing selfish basketball
So
the
selfish.
first 2 games.
But way more than even the first game, which I felt was selfish. Last night was embarrassing. Like the 2 times holding that rock until 23 seconds was mind-numbing.
And if you watch everybody else, and I'm sure Kool-Aid, you felt the same way at the game. I don't know if they can give you that angle from a television standpoint. While he's dribbling, I'm not watching him. I'm watching everybody else. And everybody else is like,
here we go again. Here we go.
For me in particular,
I got a cuticle right here.
Yeah, it was disappointing, Ball, because in the regular season, he actually was a pretty good facilitator and helped to run the flow of the offense.
Yes.
And so it seems like, I don't know where.
Did you notice the same thing, though, last night? Are we off base?
No. There just seemed to be a whole lack of movement, and that happens when your teammates become disinterested because they probably already know what you're going to be. And
100%.
Where my eyes actually went to, because JB Bickerstaff, because he didn't stop bringing him in the game. It wasn't like he said, all right, you know what, you're done for the game. He brought him back later, and then there was a couple mistakes that he played him through. My eyes went there to look at him, and he's coaching him through this stuff. He's yelling at him. He's coaching him through it. There's times when Dennis is like trying not to look at him and walking past him. But I saw JB. It seems like there is still something within this aspect of what he believes maybe Dennis can be. And
he can find something.
Maybe he's trying to find something. Because it was interesting to see that dynamic, but it was disappointing ball from Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah, I like that.
And yet, you saw Asar in the moving screen foul, right?
Yeah.
Did you see right over his shoulder? They showed the view on the TV. I don't know if you guys were at the game, you missed it. And it's JB right over his shoulder, just like the pissed off father. But the father who has one kid that he has an issue with. Because when you're doing as much as you're doing, Asar I'm talking about, diving for loose balls, doing all these switches, guarding their number 1 player offensively on the wing.
Being a plus 24 on the floor.
You're going to make mistakes.
It's a plus 11 on the floor.
And you're going to make mistakes that are physical mistakes like that. Yeah. And yet, Enes gets a free ride.
I don't think.
A free pass.
He's getting chewed out by JB.
But the thing is you have to.
And his minutes.
You have an absolute interest and reason to get through those growing pains with somebody like Asar. You don't with the guy that you just gave a $4 million contract.
Yeah,
but number 1 pick.
The only thing I leave that up to JB to determine, though. That's where, when a coach like him, he's a coach's coach, and if he knows what he's seeing on a daily basis, he knows what that locker room is saying.
JB
on
got
a daily
issues.
basis.
Can I add one thing to that, though?
Yeah.
JB Bickerstaff has a much higher expectation for Asar Thompson
100%.
than he does for Danis Jenkins.
Listen, not the time to bench him in the playoffs, though, bro.
I don't disagree with you, but he played 20. But he played 28 minutes last night. That
was JB. I'm tipping my hat. You're back in the race. You might take home some hard.
Right. So I give you credit for acknowledging that. I can tell you this, I always got his D back. I always liken coaching to being a dad. I do.
Sure.
And I've talked with coaches at length about this, and I think I'm on the right page here. You have the same rules for everybody, but how you implement those rules per person
100%.
is different because they all have different personalities.
100%.
Maybe Asar Thompson, and Kool-Aid would probably know this better than anybody, maybe Asar Thompson is a tough guy and a badass who can take that kind of stare down. But Danis Jenkins can't necessarily.
Oh, no. He didn't. It wasn't a stare down. He wasn't looking. It was just, I could see the body language and the look on JB's face. And I was a high school head coach basketball for 4 years. I know that I had guys that pissed me off. I know that I had guys in the back of my mind that just like I expected certain things for them to do dumb. And then there was my favorites. And we're human beings. That happens. The fact of the matter is I don't think that game one was a time to prove that lesson. When you're allowing Anus to play through his mistakes the way that you are. That's what the regular season is for, JB. And hats off to him for not sitting. I thought he was going to sit AT at that point for sure.
Yeah.
And he kept him in the game. Hats off to JB. I thought that he really showed the
He
most
also sat
growth.
Danis. I mean, 11 minutes. Come on, man. You can't be upset with
I
that.
tip in my hat to that.
Yeah.
It was when he came back in the second half and they were blitzing him and he kept him in the game. The moment that the Sharks smell blood and they realize that your handle is not NBA playoff ready, they're going to just rush you. And they saw that. He should have been sat at that moment. That's my only issue with his usage of Danis. I think that he needs to pull that back some more. I know I said his name again. But listen, that's the most growth I've seen out of JB in the playoffs as a Detroit Pistons head coach.
And one of the things that I liked about JB, though, is, and this players back this up, they are putting it on that they just haven't executed the game plan in game one.
That's true, too.
They said that JB got on us on at halftime. JB wouldn't reveal what he told them, but both Tobias Harris and Isaiah Stewart said that coach said no more excuses. I don't want to hear my bads no more. I don't want to hear this. Just get to your place. And when you see the interactions between an Ausar and a JB, that's where you see more of the my bads. And it's I think it is more akin to what Shep is saying, because that was one of my thoughts too. The expectation. I think that where he knows Ausar can be pushed to is to a greater height. Look, for everything I like about Draymond Green, and if Ausar Thompson's ceiling was Draymond Green, I'll accept that. But I believe that he has a ceiling much higher. I believe that JB Bickerstaff knows that he's trying to definitely push this guy to the heights. Now, when you see the little mini crash outs and you start to hear the family stories, you start to realize there might be a certain amount of sternness that has to be dealt with an Ausar Thompson versus what you might have to deal with.
AT has a high opinion of himself.
And he has
he was
a
pretty
quick temper that can with the quickness, man.
Yeah, but so does Isaiah Stewart. Nobody says anything about that.
Who's going to say it to him?
His
Who's going to say it to him?
Are different, though.
Yeah.
Ausar's a little more...
Yeah, I mean, look, Asar's both are outstanding defenders at what they do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but I thought Ausar Thompson was really, really good last night. 5 for 9. I didn't think he took a lot of bad shots, right? Took care of the basketball. I think he had 7 or 8. He had 7 or 8 rebounds.
He got back door finally.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So
What
he
he
was
lived
doing
doing
things
in-
without the basketball
Yes.
that we didn't see in game 1.
Yes.
And perhaps, just perhaps, JB Bickerstaff limited his minutes in game 1 because he said, in so many words, that this is the player you were all season long for the most part. You chose to be a different player. I don't want that player on the floor. Now, does he need to do it with others? Yeah. But last night, I thought he did a lot of things really well without the basketball as well as defending. Too many times we just put guys in a box. Okay, Ausar Thompson, you're a perimeter defender. Okay, Isaiah Stewart, you're a low post defender. When there is more to their game that coaches feel like they can get to. And last night, I think he took a step in toward getting toward that. Doesn't mean it's a finished product, but he's took a step toward getting there.
Yeah. There's somebody else I want to talk about.
Yeah, I know. So Jalen Duren, this is an issue. And I think it's going to be really hard to win this series if he doesn't wake up. So we'll get to what Anson's philosophy is on why he's not. I can't say that it's necessarily off the wall. I just haven't heard it yet. We wonder
really
what you think.
Really dawned on me mid-game last night.
Maybe it did. So we'll save it. Save it, Stevie Wonder, and we'll see exactly what
Victory
happens.
shades.
So it's going to be fun.
Pistons
Victory
won
shades.
again.
After this, again, it's the first. It's their first win in the playoffs.
You know the song. The song. Shout out T-Mac Cash.
The beauty is that they finally got rid of the home playoff jinx. First win in their last 11, right? And I don't know if people realize this, but they had 7 blocks in the first quarter. That ties for the most in the postseason in the play-by-play era since 1998. 7 blocks in the first quarter. Simply amazing. The most in the first quarter in postseason play-by-play era. The other 2 times, the Bulls at the Celtics in 2009, and Pistons at the Pacers in 2004. Okay? So pretty interesting stuff. The other thing that I think we need to acknowledge is that the last time the Pistons won a home game was 2008. The Lions picked 17th that year.
And B-Lad and Justin were 4.
And this year, and we still act 4. This year, they win, and the Lions choose 17. Now, do you remember who they chose in 2008?
Terry Fair?
Nope, that was way before. They chose a tackle.
Gosder?
Oh, gosh.
Gosder Sherrills.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he's not on the draft board this year.
Number 17 to me is always not Randy Moss, and it's Terry Fair.
Another fun fact, that was the first home playoff win in the city limits of Detroit since 1976 against the Bucks.
For a Pistons team.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say.
In
You
this
got
actual
Tigers
city
there, you
limits.
got Lions there, and you got Red Wings there.
That was pre-Dick Vitale. What was that? Ray
my
McLeod
God.
or something?
Dave Bing was on the squad.
But what was the coach's for Ray? What was the coach in '76? Freddie
It wasn't
Ray?
George McLeod. No, I don't know. Hey, by the way,
I'll have
Dave Bing was at the game last night. How great was it to see him? Got a huge ovation. Pistons did it right. Tigers could take a page from the Pistons. You know what the Pistons do? They put up video.
What up, though?
They put up video of the player they're about to show. Dave Bing, there you go. Isaiah Thomas got a rousing applause. Rip Hamilton was there. I had a chance to talk with him a little bit, so it was really cool. Ben Wallace was there. Dusty May and Michigan were there. Tom Izzo was there. I did think if Izzo's sitting there looking up when they're showing Michigan in the national championship trophy. And, of course, Jared Goff was there, which is why, Stick thinks exactly why the Pistons won is because Jared Goff was there. Anyway, very cool. I don't think so. I'm just guessing. But very cool that all those people were there in the building, in addition to Kool-Aid, and everybody acknowledges them and how much they love them. It's the same thing I say about this city all the time. Our heroes are our sports icons. You can talk to the Sean guy, Big Sean, all you want, okay? That's not what moves the dial. Moving the dial is Rip Hamilton and Ben Wallace and Isaiah Thomas. It's so cool.
Ray Scott.
And I actually got a little
Royalty.
time.
Good job.
Yeah, I got a little time
Knew
with
it was
Isaiah
Ray.
Thomas last night, too. And that was really, really cool. And just to see how much respect that he gets from everybody.
Yes.
From all the different levels of people that are there. That was awesome
Isaiah.
thing. And he takes the time to speak with people and the fans and interact.
Yep.
It's just, his spirit is just one of the best ones. That I've ever been
He'll
around.
never be forgotten. He'll always be a hero in this town.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
And always
And-
miscast as the villain.
Yeah, that's right.
It's garbage.
But we know why. We know why. I mean, he brought it on himself. Okay?
Yeah, well, when you have
I
a
don't
winning
like-
record against Jordan in the playoffs, he's going to hate you. When you beat Bird and Magic and
No, that's
Kareem
not-
and Worthy and Jordan and Pippen all in the same season, he's going to hate you.
No. That's not why.
That's why
it isn't.
Jordan
It's-
hates Isaiah.
No, it's because he walked off the floor.
No, that's not why he hates him.
Sure he
That
is.
goes way
Sure
back
he
to
is.
Chicago, well before '89 or '80 or
Look,
'90.
Look, I've said this.
Or 91.
I've said this in nauseam. I have no problem with Isaiah walking off personally because of what Jordan said about those teams, about those Pistons teams. But they thought he was classless in doing so. What people
No,
conveniently
that's
forget,
what they spun it as.
But
Because there's plenty of
it's-
plenty of teams before that weren't doing that. Yeah, of course you see McHale and Isaiah do it, but
No, McHale didn't walk off. McHale's the only one who shook their hand.
well, no, that's
Everybody
what I'm
else
saying.
walked
That's
off.
what I'm saying. They walked
Right,
up, but
right.
people see him shaking it. But the fact is the rest of the team walked
That's
off.
a drop. Yeah.
Shake it.
Yeah. Okay, we got to hit a break. This from Ben Johnson. Art and James.
Pistons got some justice last night. And
Pistons
you-
got their D back.
That's right. You might, if you need your D back, you need some justice in your life.
Baby got
Come on,
back.
Man, listen.
All Ben.
Corporations, insurance companies, who knows? If you need justice from somebody or something in your life, you need Ben Johnson in your life. You can find Ben Johnson Law over at venfights.com. I promise you want the fighter in your corner.
Well, you're going to be fighting for a seat tonight at Art and Jake's. I'm telling you, because all 6 locations has got great food, and they've got 22 beers on tap for you, and they've got 80 big screen TVs, and some people think that may not be enough as you look forward to watching the NFL draft. But this is the place to be. If you can't be with us at the draft party at the Massage Warehouse in Bloomfield Hills, then Art and Jake's is definitely the place. Food is fantastic. The beer is flowing, and the emotion will be high. Check it out. And make sure you check out that QR code right there. Scan it, download the A&J mobile app today, and join the fan club. And join them tonight for the 2026 NFL Draft.
And tell them one more time where they can join us, brother.
Yeah, that massage chair house is going to be packed in Bloomfield Hills tonight because we're going to be having a great time. We're going to be praying that the Lions make the right choice. We're going to be interested to see if the Jets screw it up again. Either way, 8 o'clock, that is the Woodward Sports Draft Party at the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. Be there for some fun and really interesting football conversation.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
You tricky son of a son. You never say son of a bee, Pete, because you never know. His mom could be an angel, but everyone is a son of a son, and Planet Fitness is for everyone. There's 50 plus in Metro Detroit, so you pass 2 on your way to work, or 8, depends on where you live. 2,700 in the country, $24.99 gets you a membership, and you can bring your buddy or your girl for free anytime. Check out their Black Spa Rewards, awesome package they got over there. Pause.
That's a drop.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness. And you already know what I'm doing afterwards.
What are you doing afterwards?
I got it prepped and ready. Pre-rolled, they call it. And it's from Loom, my favorite dispensary in town. I go right down the street, right down Woodward, just on the west side. 12 mile, in fact, the Berkeley location. It is the boutique dispensary, and we've got some awesome stuff coming up. Saturday and Sunday, May 2nd and 3rd, the Heavies will be out there with Braylon Edwards at the New Buffalo, brand new grand opening for that location. We'll be doing some special stuff on Saturday. Get a chance to rub elbows with Braylon starting at 4 p.m. And then on Sunday, 5 p.m., we're giving away 2 tickets to Tulum, Mexico. If you don't know, you're about to know.
Tickets to Paradise.
That's right, and it is Paradise.
I know who you can take.
Hey, don't miss out. We'll see you at Loom Cannabis. I'll be leaving my anus at home. I promise you that for sure. New Buffalo, May 2nd and 3rd. Join us.
Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. We invite you to join the party with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Real vodka, real iced tea. No bubbles. It's just a clean, crisp sip that will keep you refreshed while you're drinking it. and afterwards. There's no gross aftertaste. It's not going to make you feel bloated, but it will make you feel happy. It's only got 100 calories, but 4.5% alcohol. But please drink responsibly.
And we back.
Tigers lead at 3-1, by the way.
Let's go.
So Riley Green with a 2-run blast. Let's see what Kevin McGonigal's doing, because he is the second coming of Tony Gwynn.
Why don't you like him?
I do. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. I love everything he does. Does that mean I think he's the best player I've ever seen? No. Do I think people are getting a little hyperbolic when it comes to this so far? I would say yeah. I mean, after 24 games, I think you gotta be careful there.
It's no Travis Fryman,
but I think Travis Fryman's a really good player. Right?
I feel like that was the last great bat we've brought up through our farm system. I know you're going to say Riley. You're not different.
No, I'm great. I'm not saying Travis Fryman was great either.
No, it seemed like he was going to be the first.
But I don't know if Kevin McGonigal is just yet either. He's off to a great start. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. I think it's really hard to reserve judgment in sports today, because you feel like you're almost a pansy if you do.
Well, we'll touch on baseball a little later.
So I think he's a very, very good player. I love everything about him. I love his defense. I love the way he runs the bases, probably more than anything. I love the bat-to-ball skills. I love the fact that, last night in a game against Milwaukee, he had 4 consecutive 2-strike fouls, and then he hit an RBI double. That tells you something about this kid. Now, just like so many people prejudged Casey Mize too quickly, I just don't want to go prejudging Kevin McGonigal too quickly. Casey Mize in his last 3 starts, you guys, 18 1/3, an ERA of .98, 19 punch-outs, and 5 walks.
There was no.
That's pretty damn good.
That's really good.
There was no book on him at any level in the minors.
Who?
On McGonigal. There was like you see guys, dominate in low A, dominate in high A, and then they get to double A and they struggle. It takes a half season for them to adjust, or maybe a full year.
Yeah, and he did not dominate.
Well, he was very good. He was very good at every level. He never really had a situation where he struggled. So do I expect this pace to stay where it's at? Not necessarily. But once the supposed book is out on McGonigal, I don't think it's going to take him to where he's a 280 hitter. This guy, as you mentioned, his bat-to-ball skills, his eye are tremendous.
Yeah, I think in baseball it's slightly different. I'm not going to tell you he struggled. That's not necessarily fair. But if you hit 254 in Double A, I don't think that's tearing it up.
How long? How long?
He played 46 games. He had 206 at bats. Okay, 256.
Third of a season, not bad.
There was.
But you see those guys that are smashing at low A and they come up to high A, and all of a sudden they're hitting 230.
High A hit 370.
The big thing is that same time, what's his strikeout to walk?
That's part of the reason I love him so much, is because he gets on base and he doesn't strike out much.
Yeah.
I think he knows the zone better than any hitter on this team.
What's his OBP in that 254 season? First up at Double A.
369.
OBP?
Yeah. So, and a 550 slug. 550 slug.
Nearly 900 OPS then.
So pretty damn good. Yeah, 919.
So, I'm an OPS guy.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are. Scott Harris is an OPS guy. Yep. Scott Harris is an OPS.
He's
plus
an OBP guy.
No, he's an OPS guy. He is. Yeah. Trust me when I tell you that.
Yeah,
you
got it. With Riley on the team.
He's an OPS guy. However, I'm just saying, sometimes you just got to sit back and enjoy it for a little bit and make sure he makes adjustments. When you say, well, when they get the book on him, I think teams get the book on players in baseball while the series is going on.
Oh, certainly.
Okay?
Certainly.
I mean, this is not like basketball, hockey, or football, where Minnesota, the second time they play the Lions, will be a lot different on how they defend certain players. Okay? But it takes them sometimes a little bit longer to do that. In baseball, you're seeing Kevin McGonigal in the 4 at-bats on a Monday night, 4 at-bats on a Tuesday night. By Wednesday, I mean, you probably have a pretty good idea of what he's doing, not to mention the fact that his previous 23 games.
The problem, though, is, and I absolutely agree with all of that, though, is when you have a guy that's up for the first time, it takes a couple months sometimes for the really good ones to find out what you can do against him. And they're still searching for that. Yes, they're learning what they can get away with and things. But the guy doesn't have a hole in his game that's been found yet, at least not at the major league level. At some point, there's going to be a pitch that guys like to try and get him out with. But so far, through every level of baseball, this guy doesn't really have a weakness.
Sorry. I agree with you.
He's loving Twitter today, man. He's loving the memes.
The incredible feedback you're getting from
Michael Wary,
the Rossini and Vrabel situation. For somebody to put in there, Diana Rossini training for the NFL Insider Draft, and they show women at the gym doing some very suggestive things. Anyway, let's get back to the Pistons real quick. Jalen Duren, that's a bit of an issue, all right? And I like the guy a lot, but he has not looked like himself the first 2 games. Why do you think that is?
I didn't know in game 1. I didn't know through a large part of the first half. And then I saw a look that I've worn myself, a look that I don't wish on any man. And that is the look of a man in the room with his ex and her new guy. And if you don't know, I'll catch you up. Jalen Duren used to date Angel Reese. Easily the prize of the female basketball world. You might not like her game.
I don't know how you can like her game.
I know,
She's
but
awful.
listen. Hey, if she just spent one summer with Dennis Rodman and learned that she shouldn't shoot and just rebound and defend,
she's an
she'd
awful
be a
player
Hall of Famer.
offensively.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Me-Bounds, nobody gets social media in women's basketball like her. Not Caitlin Clark or anybody else. She is winning, and now she's in the city.
That tells you something,
and
though,
now
doesn't
she's
it?
in this city where she's going to be crowned social media queen of the world.
That tells you something about our society.
And
when
listen,
somebody is viewed as a star because of her social media instead of how she plays the game.
It's not just her social media. We're spoiled here in Detroit because we see a few Angel Reeses every day.
Right.
God bless our beautiful city and the women in it. But she fine.
She fine.
She fire.
I wasn't expecting this.
I don't see color, my friend. I just see fire. All right. And Angel Reese, you can hate on her all you want, but ain't nobody kicking her out of the bed. That's for damn sure. And I'm going to tell you right now, through 3 halves, Duren, I don't want to say the word, all right, but he looked like he was cucked in that situation, all right? And I've been there, bro. I've been in the club with my ex that still has my heart, and I'm sick about it, and you just can't quite get comfortable. You're trying to act like it. You're trying to look cool. You're trying to joke with your friends, but your body language is off. Your confidence is off. And it's so weird for us because as Detroit Piston fans, well, we expect Jalen Duren to be the baddest man on every single floor he steps into in the NBA.
So in case people are unaware, can you explain?
Show them the text. Show them the...
I want you to explain who she's dating now and how long.
Show them the tweet or the IG story.
There it is.
She is now with Wendell Carter, who... for some reason, has really stepped it up this series. It's almost as if he's going against his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. And through 3 halves,
he had a good first game.
He's owned him. He's absolutely owned him. Now, in the second half, you saw that spark, that fire, that nasty streak, and a smile and some moxie out of Jalen Duren. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's in a tough spot. This is a 22-year-old man. He might be a chiseled marble statue to us, but he is a 22-year-old man with real feelings who literally just lost the queen of the basketball world. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that's Caitlin Clark, but in terms of reality, and that's not basketball skills, I'm talking about the reality of delusion that we live in this social media-driven world.
You're right.
She is the queen of basketball. Our guy lost her, and now he needs to go and remind her that she's with a scrub and that she lost.
Well, let me ask you this: queens don't get traded, but either way, that's neither here nor there.
Benefit for her.
Yeah, that's what the team was thinking. What are your thoughts on when they broke up? Do you know when they broke up?
You might have a better.
Do we have any idea?
There was some time during the summer where there was some stuff posted.
So last summer.
Yeah, and it was like Duran posted a location, and it was like, okay, cool, he's out there clearing his mind. Then she posts a picture that's like, that looked like it's a similar location. Then she posts herself in a Detroit Pistons hoodie, and then
I'm saying
and everything.
No, I'm saying when they broke up. I'm asking you when.
She went to Summer League this year single.
Okay. So this past summer.
Might have been even
about a year ago.
A little bit before that, but yeah, about a year ago.
Okay. Why did he average 18 and 11 against Orlando this year then? If it bothered him that much, how could he become an all-star? How could he become a guy up for most improved player? Didn't win it. How could he become a guy who has helped this team lead to 60 wins? How could he average the number that he did against the guy who supposedly is in his brain because he's doinking his girlfriend and he doesn't get a piece of that anymore?
Doinking.
Kool-Aid?
I don't get that.
I had something to say.
I don't get it.
Doinking took me out.
I don't get it.
I
don't think that's the case at all.
Yeah, no, look, for me, I just believe that there's extra attention right now being paid to Jalen Duren. Do I believe that Wendell Carter's playing with just that much fire? Oh, yeah, because you see him grinning after plays. You see him doing a few extra little things.
Cocky.
There's stuff that he's doing where you realize, no pun intended, where you realize he's playing into that a little bit. And honestly, if the referees are going to let them play just a little bit in that paint, this is where Jalen Duren has to rise above. He has to understand this is what it's going to be for you down here in the paint, and get used to it. And in the second half, he seemed to be a little bit more comfortable with the physicality. You look at the rebounds he grabbed in the second half. I believe it was 7 second rebounds.
I get all that.
He's getting it together.
He's talking about a love triangle here.
It's a love triangle, bro. I'm telling you.
His problem is the love triangle that Jalen Duren is supposedly caught in from a girl he hasn't gotten over from last summer, and yet used this entire season to tell everyone I'm worth a max contract, not in the playoffs, worth a max contract. If it's bothering him that much, how is he able to do that? That's all I'm asking. We've all experienced heartbreak. For me, I don't go out there and say, here we go. I'm going to quadruple my salary. I'm going to become an all-NBA player, and I'm going to lead this team to 60 wins with my main guy here, Cade Cunningham.
First game in question, Duren, 21-13. Wendell Carter, 16 minutes and 6 fouls. Fouled out.
First game in question. What's first game in question?
First game they played that you
this
brought
year,
up.
This year.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Then the next game, 32 minutes out of Wendell Carter, and the Magic win. All right.
I thought they won the last game of the series.
Yeah, but that's towards the end of the year. They also did not have Franz Wagner. We did blow them out. I'll pull up the box score and see what the love triangle stats looked like.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter.
Duren had a good year against
definitely got owned in that game. All right. So I would say at this point that
Was
they're
B-ball
2-2 with an incomplete. All right. And all I'm saying is this is a real dynamic that human beings go through.
I think
all right.
you're reaching.
No,
for
I'm
it.
not reaching. I'm saying that Duren right there, that badass mofo right there, flexing, remembering that you're Jalen motherfucking Duren. All right, I'm going to tell you that's who he channeled in the second half, and that's who we're going to see through the rest of the series. And you know what? Angel Reese going to lament her decision from Cancun in a couple of weeks. Right next to, I mean, come on, dude. If you put the two of them together, we're all choosing Jalen Duren, man.
Freddie Felt.
Wendell Carter not even good looking, man.
No, he's not. Freddie Felt. Shout out to Doinking. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well played.
Julius. Shep is so out of touch with the times. His age shows daily. He's like my grumpy grandpa. Because I don't think that she's all that.
Were you a homecoming king?
I was not.
Okay.
My next door neighbor was.
Yeah.
And
Were you guys
deservedly
best buddies?
And deservedly so. Yeah, we're good friends at the time. Yeah.
You had a pretty decorated high school career in sports.
I wouldn't say that. That was ages ago. I didn't embarrass myself, but I wasn't anything special. Let's see. Freddie Felt. Why I sent him there. Question, aren't the Pistons in the playoffs? Lions are just drafting. We will talk about them all day tomorrow. No, we're going to talk about them today, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am not, if this makes me old guy, then so be it. I don't think Jalen Duren is bothered by Angel Reese.
I think he's bothered by
sleeping with Wendell Carter.
I think he is. I'll be honest with you, man. Just honestly, the look on his face, he doesn't have his normal swag. And it's not just because I've seen him struggle in games. He's still Jalen Duren. I didn't see Jalen Duren until the second half.
Yeah.
And literally in the second quarter, there was a moment where you talked about it. Where Wendell Carter did something, and he trumped, Duren at that moment, and just
he got a steal at half court. It was actually a kicked ball, but he got the steal at half court. Went down and dunked and had that little wry smile to kind of bump him on the way down.
Bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wry as hell. It's a social media generation, something that didn't affect you if you ever got your heart broken in high school or in early 20s. This stuff is in his face all the time. And when she posted that thing you saw, I don't know if you saw at the top, it said Angel Reese. That was her IG.
Yeah. Not just that, she also posted the whole play the song, GMAC Cash's stuff.
Like
I don't know the answer to this, but if you are no longer associated with someone of the female persuasion, are you following her on Instagram and Twitter and things of that nature? Because I sure wouldn't.
For 6 months or so, typically, right, until you cut yourself off. The problem is everyone that sends it to you, everyone that brings it up.
Yeah.
It's inescapable.
That's a good point.
That story, he may not own IG, but it was sent to him over.
Well,
and over.
This is interesting.
For sure.
Maybe, and Michael brings this up. He says, JD's thinking that Michael Weary. He told Carter, "You got my leftovers." How come?
But we don't know how it ended.
But
you can say that. But
we don't know how it ended, but we do know when it ended. I just find it hard to believe that it's finally hitting him today or last night or game one, where he's like, you know what, this ain't. I'm having a hard time concentrating, Coach. Take me out. All I can think about is Angel Reese missing a layup and getting her own rebound again.
Do you see Michael's latest post? Not Wary, but the other Michael in the chat. I'll let you guys read that one.
Social media is a weapon. Social media. What you're saying? I got a new respect for JD. He clapped that.
And right before it, talk about the Victoria's Secret thing.
They don't even have
Angel Reese was in the Victoria's Secret thing.
They don't even have a lens long enough for those two. Wide enough.
Okay.
Pause.
How many drops you got out of him today?
At least three.
There's at least six.
Yeah.
There's at least six. All right. Let's hit a timeout, and we're gonna talk about
Lions.
Let's do some. You want to do some Lions when we come back?
They want Lions. There's something going on
can
tonight,
we do that?
right?
I think so.
Massage Chair House. We got the remote show. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you tune in.
There is a player who many people have going to the Lions, but somebody closely to him has said some. I think people are taking it out of context to a certain extent, but they haven't had a lot of flattering things to say. We'll talk about that on the other side. After this, from Estates Title and Pure Psychiatry, just a reminder that, we've got the draft show tonight. It's going to be awesome, 8 o'clock. Make sure you're out there. It's Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. Sean Baligian, our buddy's going to be out there. Neil is going to be out there, our buddy. Scott Bischoff. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of breaking down of guys, and there's a lot of anticipation of what the Lions are going to do. So make sure you're out there. This from Estates Title and, Wendell Carter Jr.
Hey, most people don't realize when they're refinancing or buying a home that the most important player in the whole situation is your title agent.
Don't buy next to your ex-girlfriend.
That's right.
That's what you're telling us.
Your title agent is looking out for you. They're not working on behalf of the bank. They're not working on behalf of the realtor. They are there for you, and they are also there, most importantly, to make sure that closing goes clean and easy and actually closes. My man over here laughing, having a good time. Now, besides always having a good time because he's the best in the business, he's over at Estates Title Agency. Give him a ring. Again, they make closing simple and convenient. You see the numbers there. Get a hold of Nabi Saad.
Listen, if you're stressed, watch this show because it'll make you smile a little bit. But it doesn't last all day. It only lasts from 2 to 4. So we understand why at times you may be a little disappointed, a little depressed, and Pure Psychiatry understands that too. They want you to know you're not alone, all right? They want to make something really comfortable and accessible to you, helping you get through some of those trying times in your life. We've all had them right now. Maybe Jalen Duren's having. If I could talk to Jalen Duren today, I'd say go to Pure Psychiatry. They're going to treat you differently than they would treat somebody like Angel Reese or treat somebody like Wendell Carter or treat anybody like that. The bottom line is they're willing to treat you and make sure you get the right type of prescription that you need. They're in 16 locations throughout the state of Michigan, 2 in the state of Ohio. Go to their website, purepsychmi.com today.
injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
This is a hungry bear. This is Carl and Jeff. Carl isn't worried because he has focused energy to spare thanks to Thrive energy pouches. Jeff didn't use Thrive when Carl offered. The bear is happy about that. Don't just survive. Thrive.
Caesar Sportsbook app, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Get y'all's bets in. You can place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that back. All you got to do, scan that QR code. Enter Woodward's 1,000. If the first bet doesn't hit, you get your deposit back up to $1,000. Download that Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward 1000. Scan that QR code on your screen. And I am so over that midday crash. Exactly why I leveled up with Thrive energy pouches. This ain't yo daddy's dip. It's tobacco free, nicotine free. No jitters, no crash, zero bloating. Grab your 10 today. Scan that QR code on your screen or visit dipstop.com. Use promo code WSN for 15% off your entire order. Seriously, y'all, they've just flipping work.
Good day in a lot of different ways. Why? Well, it's day one of the NFL draft. That's number one. Number two, and it's not far behind, it's $5 shorts at Art and Jake's on that good-looking beer right there. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat, made with real Michigan cherries. You want a really good tasting beer? And I don't call myself a beer connoisseur, but I do like a good beer. That's a really good tasting beer. You see how it looks? That's how it looks in the glass when it arrives on your table. Check them out today at Art and Jake's, or go buy up a six-pack. If you don't believe it, I'll take the rest of the beers that you don't drink. It's Sam Adams, Cherry Wheat. Really good stuff.
I didn't think $5 beers still existed.
$5 shorts. Oh, yeah.
Rare thing.
I will say this. We had euchre last Saturday night. Friends of mine, I had Sam Adams Cherry Wheat there. They brought another well-known beer. And it was in the cooler, and it was there all night.
Yeah, stayed there.
And I went to my buddy next door, and I said, and he's got a place out on in Grand Haven. I said, I will never drink this beer in this cooler. Do you want it? He's like, you're going to give me a case and a half of beer? I said, take it. I have no desire. Take it. You can have the cooler with it, for crying out loud. Anyway, all right, so we're back. We got the draft party tonight. I want to make sure we got any super chats, Kool-Aid, you let me know. And we'll dive into those and any other chats.
Yeah, we do have a couple super chats.
Okay,
smash that like button, too.
Smash the like button. Why don't you do us a solid here and give us some super chats?
Hey, definitely will. Shout out to you guys for being here and supporting us. Again, smash that like button if you haven't gotten the opportunity to. We got 4 super chats in here. 2 from Michael Ware. He says, if you paid attention, Danis's eyes were wide. He sends another $2 super chat.
I thought Ware was better at spelling.
Danis is his name.
Is it?
He also said, I don't know what he's referring to, but he says, Anson, I caught that. LMBOOPP.
Yeah, you know me.
You would have to help us with that. I mean,
yeah, Mike, let us know what it is.
I love the police, man. Michael Ware is one of my favorites.
If Kool-Aid's having a problem deciphering, what do you think I think?
Okay. I'm ready to hear this now. But we do got 2 more. Freddie Felt, $2 super chat. He says he dribbles more than Michael J. Fox and Teen Wolf. Oh my God.
In Teen Wolf,
currently.
That's a long time.
Or currently.
Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah.
Brewers have taken the lead over the Tigers, by the way, 4-3. Tarek Skubal, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs.
I feel like you get Tigers alerts to your phone all day.
Well, I like to keep people up to speed on what's going on.
I love that about
He's thrown 94 pitches, 71 for strikes.
I love your passion for baseball.
People got a little bit mad about what's going on with the Tigers game right now, but hopefully they can turn some things around.
Was baseball your first sport?
Top of the 8th.
Like just first exposed to sport?
Yeah, I mean, I was never exposed to soccer, so baseball, yeah, from a really early age. Football.
Okay.
Yep.
Then hoops.
And hoops. Yep.
Same order for me.
So played
84,
hoops,
baby.
I was a little kid. Hoops,
84.
Hoops and
real easy.
Hoops, baseball, and football all the way through high school. Yeah.
Shout out.
So enjoyed them all. Get your kids involved in as many sports as you possibly can because it teaches you so many different things.
Were you a better point guard than Jenkins?
Probably no, absolutely not.
Are you sure?
I know. And
I
would argue none of us were. I mean, I am not so naive.
I'm sorry,
to think
man.
That. Yeah.
If you give me 23 seconds with the Rock, I will find 1 bucket. He only found 2.
Not with people in your face, you won't.
I don't know, man. Yeah. I would have hit one of those free throws.
Not in front of 22,000, probably.
Kane was missing.
Hey,
you know what? Think about that, actually. That leads us into this super chat. She loves me on payday. My favorite name in the chat. $5. He says he went to the game last night. The energy in LCA was amazing. But he says also, stop chanting MVP when Cade is at the free throw line. He missed a lot when they chanted.
Dude, you gave me hell for that the other day.
I did.
Amen to that, dude.
But that's. Can I just clarify that?
Man.
I gave you hell because I said I don't think it affects people in a negative way. If people are chanting MVP and Cade Cunningham's at the free throw line, I don't think that's as much of a distraction.
Something to think about, and you shouldn't be thinking about anything except for the hoop. Period.
This is not golf. It's not tennis. It doesn't matter.
Can we hit somebody up and find out what his shooting percentage is when they're chanting MVP versus not?
That might be tough.
I would really like to figure that one out.
Who's going to be the MVP of the NFL draft tonight? We've got the draft party tonight in Bloomfield Hills. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope people get an opportunity to go out there.
Their desk is $1,000, multi-$1,000 massage chair shop. Not a bad deal.
That's a really good deal at the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. So be there by 8 o'clock or
Jelly.
so. There's a lot of names associated with the Lions so far. I shouldn't say a lot. there's a lot of different people who have similar names. All right? Caden Proctor, Monroe Freeling. There are certain names, but we've seen different writers kind of
Caleb Proctor.
I haven't seen that one yet.
He's a fourth rounder.
It might be. But Nick Saban said something interesting about Caden Proctor, the left tackle for Alabama, who is viewed as a first-round draft pick and as a big man has had some issues with his weight. After you hear this, I want your guys' thoughts on the definition of what you think a Dan Campbell player is, because I don't see that with this description of this young man. Here's Nick Saban, who recruited him and coached him for a little bit there in Tuscaloosa. Go ahead, Kool-Aid, play it.
I think people get a little bit more tolerant of these small issues. You know, people look for reasons not to pick guys. All right, that's how it starts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like players used to tell me all the time, I'm going to go to the combine and improve my stock. You ain't improving your stock. They're looking for reasons not to take you, and they're going to find one. All right, so
do not work out.
But anyway, but I think the thing is, this guy is so talented, big, physical, can move, and has power. He's got range. He's got good feet. Now, the issue with him is he's not a bad person. He'll do whatever you ask him to do once you get him in the building. But when he's not in the building, he might get a little overweight. He might not come in the best shape. And those are the kind of things you got to manage with him. But I think they're manageable. In other words, he's not really a self-starter that's going to go out there and, you know, get in great shape and come to camp like you want him. But if you can get him to come to camp, if you got him there and get him ready to go. So I don't think that's a huge negative for the guy. And I think he's going to be a really good player now. And if he can't play tackle, he would be one hell of a guard. So there's no downside in taking the guy.
That's Nick Saban on the Pat McAfee Show. Now, so this is an interesting exercise. What did you hear out of that soundbite? And a long soundbite it was. What was your takeaway? Just real quick. Go ahead. I want to know the mindset of people.
He would make a phenomenal steal at the end of the second round.
Okay. Kool-Aid?
It didn't really resound to me personally as a Dan Campbell guy.
Okay.
Good listener in the room, lacks discipline outside.
I took it as he was more positive about the player than negative.
It's terrifying to me.
I know. Well, you and I already had preconceived notions. And I think by having those preconceived notions, the things he said about him outside the building is where your mind goes.
Yeah.
Where instead of focusing on he'd be a hell of a guard, that he's super talented, that he's super athletic, he's got great feet, we forget all of that and we focused only on the part that we already thought we knew because it justified our belief.
So I threw parties for decades, managed,
didn't get
and
that invite.
booked probably over 100 DJs and got very close with a lot of them. One of them that was one of my main guys for some years. On the surface, all the talent in the world, like one of the best on the decks you could ask for. And then I went to his house. And I'm not going to go into the details of that because then this person will know who I'm talking about. But it was an impending disaster that you knew would happen. You know, constantly lending him money, and even though he's making money with us, and you know, not cleaning things up, everything left to stack up on itself. And the problem is you get them in the building and then they perform, but the rest of their life is just as heavy, if not heavier. And the fact is that is a sign of what is absolutely going to manifest at some point. And you can't watch and manage these guys 365 days a year for 24/7. You just can't do it. And when you have somebody that is going to be loose outside of the building, but they'll be nice and tight when you got them there, that's going to be a problem. Now that's great if you find somebody later on, but this is a guy that you're hoping to slip into you, or we're even hearing rumors of moving up to 13 or higher to try and get this guy. to his point, to Kool-Aid's point, it's not a Dan Campbell guy. It's not a Brad guy. It's not a Lions grit style guy. Like, you want self-starters. You guys want guys that are going to tell you that they're going to kill themselves for you, that are going to do everything they can when they're not on the field, as well as when they're with you on the field. Yeah. This, to me, is the biggest red flag you could ask for.
Yeah, I think it's some of the reasons why I like a player like Blake Miller. And then when you hear these things about, Proctor, I don't know why. I liked Nick Fairley, but I remember some of the things that kind of followed him around about.
Yeah, that's a good example. Did he tackle out of Auburn? Yeah,
and that's kind of what comes to mind. And I know that Brad Holmes and Dan have both been on record of saying, like, they want their players to show up ready to go.
Yeah.
And if he's not showing up ready to go, that's where I'm like, man, we pick you in the first round. We need you ready to go game one, especially with where this offensive line was at last year.
Yeah, see, my issue is I when you get to the NFL, I don't want to have to hold your hand, okay? Yeah. And this is nothing against the young man, because
that's what you go to college for.
Yeah, watching ESPN do a deep dive on him was really informative. I enjoyed it. I came away thinking I really like this kid. The concern, and this has nothing to do with Nick Saban, this is more of what he has shown rather than what a former coach has said. But if I've got to worry about him, as soon as he leaves Allen Park or he leaves Ford Field and he goes to his condo in Birmingham or wherever he's living, and I'm worried that he's going home to a case of Dunkin' Donuts and that's how he gets his sugar on, that's a serious issue. People, and I don't know necessarily what it's like, but people who have weight issues, you feel for them, but it's hard to change your habits, and it's really hard to change a daily routine. And if you're changing it only at Allen Park, where you've got dietitians, that's great.
It's not
but when
real.
you're gone, and
real.
you just can't help it when you pass by your favorite fast food place, and you got to have yourself at least a couple of them.
Maybe not year one, maybe not even year 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You hope that it's on the veteran contract for another team, but at some point, their lifestyle will always catch up with them.
So, when you think Dan Campbell, I hearken back to this quote. All right, this is a quote I kind of jotted down. He said, "Look, I'm not saying we weren't hungry, but let's get that hunger back. We're going to bring some guys to compete." Remember, he said this after last season. You want to make sure you get guys that are fit and fit what you're all about, and they've got something to prove. We all want talent, but it's always nice to have a little bit of saltiness to you over the talent that lacks saltiness. This kid apparently plays with plenty of saltiness. It's the other quote that bothers me. Just get a little bit of the edge back, and then one more. Let's make sure that our calling card is what we said. It's about grit and everything that starts with grit. And then we'll work from there. Once we're able to get a little lethal and be more potent in some areas and be more aggressive, we're going to do that. That does not sound like... Now, remember what you and I said yesterday. We said, this is a team and a franchise that holds its cards close to its vest. His name is being associated with the Lions an awful lot. Nick Saban had to say some of those things that he said. Dan Campbell has said what he has said at the end of last year. It doesn't seem like it's fit. It feels like, a round peg in a square hole to me.
Yeah, it seems like, if you're ever going to get a tell from the Lions, it's going to be from the emotional of Dan Campbell. And at the same point, he's still very close to the vest with that stuff. There's a tiny, tiny crack in the culture of that locker room this last year. And that will happen when you go from 15 wins to 9 wins.
Sure.
You obviously see Monty, who's one of your leaders, really asked to be let out the door, and they did. They obliged him. We're done in our
Taylor Decker too.
Yeah, and that's going to happen with teams. I think where they're at right now is you have some of these guys that are uber talented, whether they drafted them or brought them in, that maybe aren't living up to that grit the way that we had seen in the last couple of years. And to me, reading in between the lines of these quotes you provided us, Shep, to me this is him saying that they need to get some guys, not some chance guys, but some sure day one contributors, guys that are going to push some of these more talented guys into maybe finally being salty to the point where they remember that grit.
Mm-hmm. Amen. And I hope they do. And if he's the guy, then I pray that he can get his weight under control and the things that he has a hard time saying no to. And look at, same, okay? I have a hard time saying, you give me chocolate-covered peanuts, I'm all over it, okay? It's hard. That's why I tell my wife, do not buy peanut butter M&Ms. If you buy those, I'm eating them. So just don't buy them.
Elite.
They are elite, aren't they?
Delete.
Absolutely.
No,
he said elite.
Elite.
This,
And
yeah,
deleted.
he got rid of the
deleted.
He got rid of the D, just like you got rid of the D. Let's get our final first round predictions for the Lions.
Final.
At 17.
Final,
one.
baby.
Yeah.
Holding you to it.
But I do want a reason behind it, and I'll start. I'm going to go with Vavega Oyanye, okay, and I'm going to go with him because of this reasoning. What is Jared Goff? Jared Goff's a pocket passer, right? I know. If I asked that of Stick, he would say he is a god, but he's not here. He's a pocket passer. Where does he struggle? Like every other quarterback, by the way. Where does he struggle with most? Pressure up the middle. They addressed it a year ago in the second round with Tate Ratledge. They addressed it in the offseason this year with Cade Mays. And now they have a chance to address it in this year's draft with the best, some would argue, including yours truly, lack of position, the best offensive lineman in this draft. Now, I think Baltimore is going to take him because he's a Baltimore kind of guy. But, Kevin Zeitler. But I think if he's there, or if the Lions see him dropping a little bit, that's where the trade may come into. I think he would be the perfect fit for the Lions, and you can have Larry Borum at right tackle.
I agree. I think it is really a perfect fit. This is the kid that didn't give up a pressure, right?
Correct, or a sack the last 2 years.
Yeah, you got to get a pressure before you get a sack, right?
Right.
I think that this kid does fit in. We've talked about signing a guy to a prove-it deal in Borum, and you have to allow him to do that. I think that this guy comes in, and you are instantly a very good offensive line. My question, you kind of answered it a little bit, is this a guy that they are moving to 13 for?
I would, depending on what you'd have to give up.
I wouldn't move for Proctor, okay?
I wouldn't.
And there's a few other guys I wouldn't move for. I think what we just talked about with the Saban quote is a reason why, end of the first round, in the second round, he's a steal, considering his physical everything, what he's put on tape, his statistics and everything. But this guy, man, I just don't think you have to worry about him. I think if he slides at 13 and you have to give up something from next year, I'm not that worried about it because he's probably a top 10 guy. This really gives that offense back what we lacked last year.
How many linemen do you really like? If you look back at drafts and you see some of the linemen taken, and you're like, wow, I'm glad we got our guy, Penei Sewell, instead of that guy, right? It can be a very tricky situation. Now, a lot of people will say this is really deep in offensive line draft, but I like four guys. I mean, I really like four guys. Spencer Fano, who played right tackle for Utah, but early in his career, Utah played left. When Caleb Lomu came in, they put Lomu at left tackle, and they put Fano at right tackle. Obviously, I love this guy. I love Blake Miller. I think he's a plug-and-play starter at right tackle. And I really like Monroe Freeling, who doesn't have the snaps. Not many do. Nobody does. Nobody's got the snaps like Gabe Miller. Nobody. He's got 3,887 at Clemson. That is a program record. Nobody got the starts of 54, which, by the way, I might add, Miles Frazier had close to 54 starts in college when the Lions drafted him in the 5th round. So those are the four linemen I really, really like. How many do you like, and who do you have the Lions final lock it in? Lock it in.
Kool-Aid, you want to go first on that one?
Yeah, you know what? I've been consistent on this one. I like what he's done on the field as well as off the field. Some don't believe he has as much high-end talent, but I don't know. I like what he's brought, and that guy is Blake Miller. Consistency on and off the field. When you hear him speak, he sounds like a Dan Campbell guy, and I believe being with this offensive line will help push that ceiling just that much more for Blake Miller. And in turn, we see this offensive line take another step towards being elite. Shout out to Cade Bates.
And he might be there.
Yeah, this is the same.
Yeah, I feel like they might have a trade back opportunity with him.
This is the same pick for me. I've been consistent with it for 6 weeks. I think that it's a guy that they could take at 17. hope that it's a guy that they move down to 22 and get. To answer your question, there is a fifth guy for me, and that is Mr. Mauigoa. That's a guy that there's a lot of talk about him moving inside. I think that he's elite if he's inside. I think that he's excellent if he's outside. The herniated disc, we'll see how much reality is based in that, or if it's just, some subterfuge right before the draft. But Blake, Vega, Fanu, Freeling, Mauigoa, if the Lions end up with any one of those five guys, you can expect them to run the damn ball real well next year.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I forgot, man. I just don't think he's going to be there. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be taken in the top 10.
Now, if he slips, that's a guy, man. I got no problem with them giving up a third next year.
Well, would you have a problem with them moving up for any of those players? You think they can get Blake Miller if you trade down? I think you've got to be very leery of that, because there's a lot of teams that are looking to move up to get this type of player.
I think that one of those five guys will be there at 17. And it may just be Blake Miller. And at that point, again, 2, 3, 6 weeks ago, this is a guy that we could easily move back for. But we said it. Braylon and I said it over and over again. This guy's going to be in the 20s come April, the end of April. And here we are looking at that. I do really think this is a very talented offensive line, front-loaded draft. And actually throughout all 7 rounds, there's a lot of good guys. But there's going to be a race to get into that top 20. And to your point, maybe even the top 15, which really puts the heat on Dan and Brad to have to make that move.
Yeah, I am super excited for tonight. I've also heard. I had a national insider, I had a conversation with him earlier today, and he said some of the names that he's hearing associated with the Lions, outside of those tackles and outside of Onye, Dylan Thieneman, the safety out of Oregon.
I'm okay with that.
And somebody that was brought up yesterday that I didn't take as serious as I probably should.
Little tight end?
Yes. So Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon as well. Both those guys, obviously,
it's
out of
the
Oregon.
Drew Petzing quotient, I guess, whatever you want to say.
Well, it's the way the NFL is.
Well, but it's also the way that guy likes to do things, where he wants 12 personnel. And, Sadiq is a mauling run blocker. He needs some work on his pass pro, but in terms of what he can do down the field, it really gives you an option with Laporta, whether you want to keep him and have all those dynamic weapons on the field, or whether you want to try and move him the way they did Hawkinson.
Well, he is. There's no doubt he's talented. Some would argue he's one of the most talented offensive players in this draft.
Absolutely.
But that would be a hard sell for Lions fans.
Oh, boy.
It would be really difficult.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing there is with Sam Laporta, I wonder how many people felt like, we are getting an absolute baller who we know is better than TJ Hawkinson on the way out. But in this one, I'm hearing people, they all say the same thing. They're like, ooh, but he's a baller, though. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where they go and how fans respond to this.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I remind people, when Hawkinson was here, he's just not a very good blocker. Sam Laporta's a good blocker.
Yeah, I like Sam.
And that's why when you brought up Sadiq and what he can do, it's much different. It is, I don't want to say it's night and day. There's no question who the better complete tight end is between Sam Laporta and TJ Hawkinson.
And I mentioned this on the morning show. I have very verified information from somebody that spends time with Laporta and personally saw him doing very impressive deadlifts, which is not something you can do with a bad back.
Correct.
So it sounds like Laporta is ready for training camp in week 1.
I sure hope so. Yes. I know somebody associated with people in his camp who he believes that it's going to be really hard for the Lions to re-sign him too.
Interesting.
Okay. When we come back,
so that right there. Hold on a second.
Okay.
What did you just say? If they can't re-sign him, what are they going to do?
Yes, but I would also remind you this. This national insider told me the tight end position is extremely deep. You don't have to go get the guy in the first round. Now, you could say the same thing about offensive linemen, but you're not going to get the quality offensive lineman at 50 that you're going to get at 17.
No, very top-loaded.
And you can get a starting tight end in day 3. is what he told me.
And you can get some offensive linemen that are project guys in the 4th and 5th round.
You've got those guys. Hi, Kobe Sorsdale.
Yeah, exactly. The top-loaded talent of those 5 guys we mentioned. Yeah. And then you can even, Ian Achor and some other guys that are intriguing. It's a very good class for offensive linemen.
Agreed. Tied at 4 now. Brewers and Tigers, real quick, just an update. Top of the 9th, but Milwaukee is threatening. When we come back, who is Mr. Detroit right now? And some sound from a guy who used to be Mr. Detroit. That's coming after this from Dr. Pierce and buddies.
Hey, guys, stick around tomorrow. We're going to reschedule with our guy, Doc Jeff Pierce from Sports and Spine, Michigan. He is in every Tuesday with BDE and normally with us Thursdays, but again, he'll be joining us tomorrow. We'll be talking about some of the health concerns and issues of maybe one of our newest Detroit Lions, as well as some of the guys that will be on the board in day 2 and 3. But if you need to get back in the game, use the guy that Braylon Edwards, Darren McCarty, and plenty of other pros trust. The guy with the secret sauce, Dr. Jeff Pierce. Scan that QR code or hit him up, 248-426-9944.
Really good idea tonight while you're watching the draft. If you're watching it at home and you can't be part of our draft party and you can't get to Art and Jake's, get to Buddy's. It can be a to-go order. I know this, you're going to be happy. Well, you may not like the Lions pick, but you'll like what you're eating at Buddy's, whether it's a salad or whether it's a pizza. And here's the other thing you're going to love. Not just like, but love. April 27th, Buddy's Pizza is hosting its 50th annual Slice for Life fundraiser. They've raised over $4 million since 1976. How? If you dine in or carry out any Buddy's location, 20% of that on Monday the 27th is donated to the Capuchin Soup Kitchen. What a great cause. What a great meal. And a great thing to do on Monday, April 27th with our friends at Buddy's.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Tuesdays are tasty at Black Rock for just $13.99. You can feast on a half pound of ribs, coconut shrimp, and fries. And on Sizzling Thursdays, you get a 6-ounce sirloin, shrimp scampi, your choice of super salad, and a side for only $19.99. And Maz says he can't get fed for $50 over there, man. You can feed 2.5 over there for that.
Are you kidding me?
That's right. Well, we lost a bet to him, and he wants like 3 fillets and dessert and all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see, Mr. Maz. But you can see for yourself at 7 different locations throughout the state, Black Rock Bar and Grill. And you can also find them online at blackrockrestaurants.com.
Listen, you talk about a bang for your buck. I mean, look at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's a great deal. Come into a place that's really clean, it's professional. You feel good when you leave. You feel good when you come in. Sign in. Next thing you know, you're in a chair. You're watching some NFL draft coverage. You're watching the Tigers. You're watching a little bit of golf. It could be anything that's going on there. They make sure you feel right at home. And they're really good people. They're open 7 days a week because they know you got a busy schedule. Walk in anytime. It really is wicked awesome.
And we back.
Shep might show up at the massage room or the massage chair house, I hear.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be there, right?
I am not. I will not be there tonight.
Oh, okay.
We got a big crew,
Talking about really good personalities. Kool-Aid's going.
Are you?
Yeah, I might step out around 8:30.
Excellent. I did not know that.
8:30.
Yes.
Wow.
I got a dog, and I'm dog sitting the mascot of Woodward Sports. We call him Woody.
Hey, shout
out.
I've had him a month.
He's a great dog.
He's fantastic, dude. The perfect gentleman.
Oh, but what do you mean you've got a dog? I mean, you've always have a dog. You have a dog right now, and you're still working.
I get that, but typically
bring him with you.
Well,
He's
trust
a fun.
me,
He's a fun little dog.
I would give away part of my pay to have my dog in my office. You know that.
Yes.
All day.
And I would want you to give away part of your pay because I'd come and pet him.
Give me part. Would you throw in part of yours?
No, I would
not. We can maybe make it happen.
Don't make enough to do that. Let's get to. Did you anybody see what Steve Eisenman said today? So Steve Eisenman and Todd McClellan met with the media. Media asked him some tough questions, which I think is great, including Carlos Monterez, who actually asked quite a few difficult and, for some, a little unsettling questions, depending on what it was. Here's what Steve Eisenman had to say about the disappointment this year and maybe where they go moving forward.
Now it's 7 years later.
Yep. Every year over the last 7 years, the question is when are you going to make the playoffs? And obviously I've answered, I'm not sure. I can't give you a timeline. Knowing full well 7 years ago, I knew what I signed up for. I knew what the job, the task at hand was. And so when exactly we were going to be a playoff team, I could never pinpoint that. To sit here today and say, hey, everything's going perfectly according to plan, no. There's a lot of things I'm pleased about within the organization and areas that I'm not happy, disappointed, things that we need to have done better. We sit here today a week after the end of the regular season and see how the season unfolded. I think we're all kind of emotional about this and need to take a little time to analyze it, not forget about some of the positive things that are going on here, and then try to address how we move forward.
Trying to figure out, where he's coming from in a difficult situation. So a lot of that is, a lot of word salad, quite honestly. But some of it is poignant. Who's the young player that you would be encouraged about? Simon Edvinson? Yeah, okay, fine. The other young players, it was actually quite disappointing. Marco Kasper, for example. You've got a 40-plus goal scorer. Alex DeBrincat, I think, scored 41. You've got one guy who had 80 points or more. And you've got a lot of guys who, according to your head coach, just wore jerseys. I'm trying to find that silver lining. I know they had 92 points. I know they had more than they had a year ago, and I know they would have been in the playoffs had they been in the West, and they would have, vied for the Pacific Division. I get all that. But I'm trying to figure out where he's coming from when it comes to the positivity of what he saw and how long is long enough. Because we're talking about 10 years as an organization. We're talking about 7 years deep into his tenure. And we knew it was going to take some time, but I don't think anybody expected it to take this long and this painful. So I wanted people to hear that because it's a frustrating thing for hockey fans and for Red Wings fans.
That was a tough soundbite to listen to,
it was.
Especially understanding the legend that Steve Eisenman is, what he's done in this capacity as a GM in the league before coming to Detroit, and knowing that you do know he wants to get this thing right, it's tough to hear him kind of at this juncture, at this point, say this. It is.
Well, I mean, he has not been great at signing free agents.
No.
Except for Alex DeBrincat. John Gibson was pretty good this year. And he has not been good at evaluating certain talent. It's kind of like Scott Harris with some of the pitching. Hasn't been great at that part of the evaluation. And I think if you do watch any of the playoffs, save maybe Philly and Pittsburgh last night, but if you watch any of the playoffs, you recognize the Red Wings are a long way away.
Yeah.
Oh, such a long way away. That Minnesota-Dallas series, you can't beat those teams. They're in the West, so it's a little different. The Hurricanes, you can't beat them. You can't beat Montreal. You can't beat Tampa. You're not beating Buffalo.
Way more physical and skilled.
Much more physical. Much tougher to play against.
What I heard was his realization that it wasn't a lack of skill, it's a deficiency in the human being department.
Well, he said we got to get better players.
Well,
there's another soundbite where he says we've got to get better players. That's on him.
Yeah, well, they not only need to get better players, but they also need to get guys that rise to the occasion. And I think that he's tried to craft this team in the image of the teams that he won 4 Stanley Cups with, and they just don't have the same fight or fire or sense of urgency. This is a team that's, you're trying to end a near 2-decade absence from the playoffs, and this is what you're bringing to the table. This is how you're responding when you're in the thick of it. You go from basically one of the best teams in hockey to having the worst record over the last 2 months out of maybe 3 worst records.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It's a absolute lack of grit while we're watching 3 teams in Detroit find their grit.
In a sport, along with football,
that's based on grit.
That is based on grit, 100%.
Sure.
No, that's well said. Now, you've had something on your mind which I think is an awesome topic.
Yeah.
That we haven't been able to get to, but finally we can today. Steve Yzerman, at one point in his career, he was Mr. Detroit.
Yes, sir.
I remember there was a massive poster, banner or whatever, in downtown Detroit on a specific building. There's 2 guys who donned that poster.
That's right.
Steve Yzerman was one, and Barry Sanders was the other.
And now some whales.
Legendary.
Yeah, and now, well, I
Are the whales still there anymore?
No, they are, but it's
them.
not that building. It's a different building. I forget which building it was.
Cadillac building.
Yeah, it was a Cadillac
Yep.
building. Thank you. Appreciate
You
that.
sure? I thought the whales were where Barry was.
No, that's not where he was.
Yeah, it was Cadillac.
Yeah. So you remember those?
Oh, sure.
We all remember those.
They looked beautiful sitting in comparison.
It was so cool.
Yes, it was.
Now you could have had others. We've had plenty of great athletes here. Who do you think is Mr. Detroit today?
Well,
I want you to be realistic here, okay? Because at some point it could have been Skubal. I don't think it is, because I think most people feel like he's leaving. Now, whether or not that's fair, I don't know. But I think that's the consensus people have. Tigers just took the lead. That's the consensus people have, and he started the game. Actually, it's a final. They won it. So they win 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee. Skubal today, a little bit of a struggle. 7 hits, 4 earned runs. Shout out to Torkelson, who homered to left center 382 feet.
On cue.
For seconds.
On cue after yesterday.
Yeah. Well, he homered yesterday, too.
But he homered today, you mean? Okay.
Yeah, he homered
back-to-back double on cue.
Yes, he walked it off today.
Sweet.
Okay.
Oh, we just won?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard when we took the lead. I didn't know.
Yeah,
we
I'm
won.
sorry. Yeah, they just won.
Very
He
nice.
walked it off in the bottom of the 9th.
Beautiful.
Okay, so a game
Torque
winner.
is back.
So good for. I don't know if he is, but congratulations to him,
Today
because
he's back.
they were down 4-3 in the 8th. So good for them.
Beautiful. Tough team.
So at one point it could have been Skubal. I don't think it is. Who would you guys say it is?
Well, Shep, there's only 2 men in town that have a chant. One is MVP during free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
and
were
the
both
other
in the building
one
last night.
Well, we could call Stick and ask him, but that chant is Jared Goff. It's funny because when I came up with this topic, the list that the writer had Cade, Skubal, Hutch.
Wow.
Now, he's a handsome man. I get it. He's a Michigan man. I get it. He's one of the premier defensive ends, but he doesn't put his hands under center. Pause.
Does it have to be a quarterback? Neither did Barry, and
But
Barry
Barry
donned it.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of competition under center. The fact is Jared Goff.
This is true.
Jared Goff captured all of our imaginations. He won 2 playoff games. As long as Jared Goff is in town and the Lions are relevant, it's going to take Cade Cunningham winning the ring to dethrone him, I believe.
Wow, I would strongly disagree with that. I don't think that. I don't think
Well,
that's.
let's hear it.
I don't think that's necessary at all. Jared Goff hasn't won a ring.
I know,
So
but
what difference does it
football's
make?
king, man. We sell out 0-16 games.
But they will turn on the quarterback fast.
So here's what I would say is the difference in that. The difference, I think Cade Cunningham is Mr. Detroit, and here's the reason.
Yeah.
He's viewed.
I was just wanted someone else to say it before me. I didn't waste no time
My
saying
best friend's daughter, I was telling her about the Pistons yesterday, had no idea who Cade Cunningham was. She knows who Jared Goff is.
That's not the litmus test for me, but it is for you. That's fine. Here's the
Angel
difference.
Reese matchup.
I think Cade Cunningham is a top 5 player in the league. Jared Goff is not.
Correct.
I would say most people would identify other Lions as just as important, if not more important, than Jared Goff.
Like Hutch.
And yeah, maybe a Gibbs, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe even eventually Jack Campbell, not yet. I think everybody universally would hold hands in a circle and sing Kumbaya and say Cade Cunningham is the most important player on the Pistons.
Oh, no. I thought you said Mr. Detroit. Because now when you crown him Mr. Detroit, is he wearing a Dallas Cowboys hat?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
You know what I mean by that.
What?
When we crown Cade Cunningham Mr. Detroit, is he wearing a Dallas Cowboys star on his hat?
He'll have a Pistons hat.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. He wears a Detroit Tigers hat all the time.
He does.
Yeah, well,
And the Buffies.
He also wears a Cowboys hat. He's a Cowboys fan first and foremost.
So what? I don't know. Why does that matter?
Well, because
Rasheed Wallace walked into the Palace in a Philadelphia Flyers jersey.
I would love to tell you.
That is true.
I know it's true.
And a Kansas City Chiefs jersey.
That's right.
That's right.
So
Kansas City first and foremost.
Now, no one would argue. Here's Anson's comeback, and rightfully so. No one would say he was Mr. Detroit. So therein lies the
Balls
difference.
don't lie, though.
Okay,
And never
but,
would.
But it never would be, and I wouldn't expect him to. I don't need my guy to be. In order for me, Mr. Detroit, to wear a Lions helmet.
Cade represents the city of Detroit better than pretty much any athlete I can remember in the history of Detroit.
Wow.
He is cool. He is collected. He is grind to shine. And that's what you have to do in this city. This is Detroit, where the weak are killed and eaten. This guy went through loss after loss after loss and never gave up on this city.
He lost the whole
same
season.
way all of us have watched decade of losing after decade of losing before finally we've reached prominence and actual, people are saying, hey, one of the top 20 cities you should visit in the U.S. is now Detroit. And that is what we are seeing.
He also got paid a lot of money to stay here.
I
He
would
didn't
love
stay here
to
because
tell
of the
you
city.
that Cade Cunningham is Mr. Detroit because I think he is the perfect choice for Mr. Detroit. But if you go around Detroit and Metro Detroit, the name on everyone's tongue is Jared Goff.
Okay, all right.
I
think there's a lot of athletes we've had. I think we get a little caught up in a moment.
9 more wins,
There's a
and you're
lot.
right.
There's a lot of players, a lot of athletes in this town who have represented this city as good, if not as or better than Cade Cunningham. And you know how I feel about Cade Cunningham. Calvin Johnson's a great representative of the city. Sure. Chris Spielman was a great representative of the city. Barry Sanders was a great representative of the city. Matthew Stafford was a great representative of the city.
Yeah, but nobody represents and embodies the cool of Detroit like cool-ass Cade Cunningham, in my opinion.
In your opinion. That's fine. Kool-Aid, we know who you think is Mr. Detroit. Sweet Potato Can, who do you think is Mr. Detroit? I say it's Cade Cunningham. He says it's Jared Goff. Kool-Aid agrees with me. Who do you think?
I really think it's Cade also. Cade is the man, leads the team who's been, the rebuild, the bounce back, we all know, and now
suffering through some heartbreak. Remember, Jared Goff suffered through some heartbreak too his first year.
And first year and a half.
Yeah. So I mean, so there's some similarities there for sure.
I mean, nobody is ready for this to be basketball town for maybe an Eastern Conference.
So you're saying the sport matters that much more?
Well, I think the sport matters a lot, but also the timing. I mean, for the last 4 years, it's been all Lions, and now it's the Pistons are creeping in. They need a year or two of playoff success for him to be a household name in Detroit.
Okay.
For the common fans of I just like Detroit sports.
No, I get it. I think you make a really good argument. I would answer this. The last playoff game the Lions had was not great by Mr. Detroit, according to you.
No, I just said if he wins 9 more, watch it. You might get that tag taken away from you.
Is there any Tiger in the conversation?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. You don't like the name. Magoo.
Well, I hate the nickname because anybody who calls him that is ridiculous. But it's 24 games. It's 25 games. I don't think he can be Mr. Detroit yet.
But he is the guy that in 2 years could take the mantle.
Yes.
If they win a World Series and Magoo's a 300-plus guy and continuing to play the way he is, 100%. And he's got the look. He's got the presence.
He also plays the position.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
Center field and shortstop. Those are the two you like.
Yeah, a lot of catchers too. But yeah, I mean, shortstop for sure.
I'm talking about like in terms of value and like the selling jerseys and baseball cards, all of that, all the values, center field and shortstop.
Yeah, I got you. And an ace, right? Would you say that too? No?
No. It's funny. The pitchers, like, aside from Skeens was hot, but yeah, the pitchers don't carry anywhere near the value as somebody that sends the ball over the fence.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what they want.
Well, that's your specialty. I think he can be. I just wouldn't do it yet.
Oh, no, he's not yet. I mean, it's still Scooble from that team.
So Scooble is the identity. Yeah, Scooble's the identity of the Tigers. 100%. I think the first thing you have to think of when you say Mr. Detroit is are they the identifying face of their franchise? Cunningham, check.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is Goff?
Is
Goff the Lions?
He's not, but he's such this cult hero because we've been starving for a quarterback that could bring us to the promised land. He hasn't gotten us there yet, but Stafford could never do it. And yes, Stafford is a better quarterback. He will go down as the better quarterback, even if Jared Goff gets his ring. But this city was so starved for somebody like Jared Goff to come in and fill that role that he'll be a cult hero. I mean, unless they go on and win 5 games this year, he'll be a cult hero in this. I mean, come on. What's our boy, who was it in 91? I could not think of his name right now.
Scott Mitchell.
Not Scott Mitchell. Eric Kramer. We still love Eric Kramer in this town.
Yeah, I think that the hard part is if he doesn't do it, I think people will also blame him.
Well, they already do. You're right about that.
Okay, yeah. Like last night, I thought for sure we were going to hear the Jared Goff chants.
Who do we blame in the MLB playoffs last year? He should have came out for 7.
Yeah. Scooble.
But at the same point,
that's
when you know they're the face. Because nobody's blaming Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's good.
Nobody's blaming anybody else.
That's a good
Jared
point.
Goff.
Yeah. You're right. People aren't blaming Jamison Williams for throwing that pass. True. They're blaming who? Ben Johnson for it. What would you call that
the
for?
Traitor.
Yeah, the traitor.
Kane's been so good you can't blame him, though.
I know. Well,
it's JB or it's Duran or it's somebody else because he's been that damn good.
Except for last year's playoffs, he was blamed.
Yep, in a couple
and
games
rightfully so.
And he blamed himself too.
Yeah,
100%.
Yes, and he did. Mm-hmm. Falls on that proverbial sword. All right.
I do want to throw into this as well. Like,
Fire.
I wonder how much the national perspective matters too, because you see Cade right now over the last 2 to 3 years being utilized by his actual league, being utilized by other outlets and such, and advertising and promotion.
Oh yeah, it's coming,
and
bro.
Such.
Even more and more.
The shoe deal that's coming for him and everything. He's somebody. The Slam magazine covers, multiple of them. Yep. That I wonder how much that will weigh into what you consider to be the king of Detroit as well.
And do you think it, like Anson has said though, because in Detroit, because the Lions are so big.
Yeah, football is king.
Yeah, that has to be a factor in it. I mean, you could have looked at Dylan Larkin had he led them into the playoffs because of what he did for Team USA and the gold medal that they won, and then how he acted afterwards and how all his teammates on Team USA praised him for his leadership.
For a month, he was Mr. Detroit.
He was.
Now, let me.
He's not Steve Eiserman, but he was.
Let me restate this. My Mr. Detroit is Cade Cunningham. If you polled 100,000 common Metro Detroiters, the poll would win for Jared Goff.
If they don't think, then it's probably going to be Jared Goff.
Yeah. But my choice, I think Cade Cunningham.
Do you think Jared Goff is Mr. Lion? That's the first question I would ask you.
Yeah.
You do?
He may not be the most loved Lion like Jahmyr Gibbs and J-Mo because he's very divisive. He's a quarterback in Detroit.
And that's going to happen.
For sure.
I think I would say Hutch over J-Mo.
You know, I want to touch on something. I know we're about out of time here. We didn't get to your Detroit Lions pick. And he has something that's a little different that I've been hearing a little bit more of since this morning, talking about the Lions reaching through trade even higher than 13.
Up. We moving up
You're
around the 10 spot there.
To get who?
Ruben Bain Jr., y'all.
There he is. I like his jersey number.
Yes. Well, I don't think it's about the number. It's about his talents, coming off the edge, hot. Excuse me. And I feel like
what about the short
the
arms?
Lions are more comfortable with the O-line than we are.
You like the T-Rex?
No, I don't think that's a factor. I mean, sure, it's
for some it is a fact. I'm not saying you're wrong there. For some, it's a big factor. There's never been a guy with that shorter arms who've been able to have any type of success, from what I've read. And a lot of it is because the offensive linemen have such long reaches. He can't get inside, and he can't win if he doesn't get inside.
Lose a lot of boxing matches
if you
don't
move
got
up to
reach.
10. Remember, the Bengals gave up 10 to the Giants. The Giants want some defensive help. The Giants, depending on who they take at 5, they might want Tyson, the wide receiver, okay, if they take Caleb Downs at 5, or if they take Sonny Styles at 5. I don't know if you're getting to 10 for him. I think
there's some growing feeling in the back room with a bunch of our guys that the Lions are trading for this. Might just be a want, because I know everybody in this town wants that edge.
Yeah. I could see them moving up to get their premier tackle, maybe like a Spencer Fano. I can't see them moving up for him. But we'll soon find out. We'll find out tonight, 8 o'clock. They'll pick number 17 overall. It's going to be a little bit later than 8 o'clock.
Our draft special does start at 7:45, so make sure you're there a little bit early. Again, we'll be at the Massage Chair House. Sean Baligian, Neil Rule, and Scott Bischoff, along with Spencer, KG, and a whole bunch of others. Kool-Aid will be there, and sounds like Shep too.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So hope you have fun. We'll be talking about the draft tomorrow for sure here on the Braylon Edwards Show. That's the word. You're going to be here.
Let him cook, baby.
Hey, good W by the Tigers, too.
And then it's going to be a big fake hug from Roger Goodell and whatever player is going to don the old Honolulu blue and silver.
You ready to be a Lion, Shep?
You ready to be a Lion? We're ready to get out of here. Heavyweights a little bit later on. The draft party at 7:45. Be there, and we'll be here tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Enjoy the day.
Enjoy. Shout out to
Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.